in on Notre Dame, perhaps. Can I invite everybody to take a seat, please? Because if you don't, we'll close the bar. Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. I appreciate that.
I'm happy to take other people's jokes. The best thing you can say.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if we could everybody take a seat so we can start the program tonight, that'd be greatly appreciated. Folks in the back, this is a good Catholic gathering, so there's plenty of seats in the front row.
All right, Father.
So all of you good Catholics, come on up, front row seating.
It's like at the auctions, they always sell front row seating. They don't sell
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if we can get everybody to move up towards the front, there's plenty of seating up here. It's a good Catholic event. Plenty of front row seating. Come on up so we can get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jesuit High School. Welcome to Jesuit High School. Thanks for coming tonight. Tonight we celebrate and kick off the 50th anniversary inaugural celebration of Jesuit High School. Tonight's also a night to rekindle old friendships, reminisce about wins and losses that took place on Loyola Field behind me, and most importantly, to share a vision for Jesuit High School moving into the next 50 years, to continue our place in Sacramento as a dominant educational institution. My name is Chris Fahey. I'm the athletic director at Jesuit High School and a 1992 alum. At this time, I'd like to have all the coaches, student athletes, and faculty and staff of Jesuit High School to stand and raise your hands so everybody can see you. I'd like to personally thank all of you for coming tonight, helping to make this event a reality, and most importantly for all the work that you do to make this the #1 educational institution in the greater Sacramento area and beyond. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Father David Suwalsky, the president of Jesuit High School. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being with us tonight. Your presence tells me of your interest in Jesuit High School and all of the young people who are part of this great community of learning and of faith. We've been planning the baccalaureate mass, which will return to campus this year, and as part of the prep, I've been looking at appropriate passages from the scripture that will help us capture that moment. This was one that I saw this morning, and I thought to share it with you. It captures our feelings about having you with us. From St. Paul's letter to the Romans. I give thanks to my God through Jesus Christ for all of you, because your faith is heralded throughout the world. God is my witness, whom I serve with my spirit in proclaiming the good news of his Son, that I remember you constantly, always asking in my prayers that somehow by God's will, I may at last find my way clear to come to you. For I long to see you, that I may share with you some spiritual gift, so that you may be strengthened. That is, that you and I may be mutually encouraged by one another's faith, yours and mine. So thanks be to God, and my thanks to each of you, who through your prayers and support have made Jesuit High School what it is today, and who will help Jesuit become what the Lord intends for it to be in the years to come. I also want to use this time as an opportunity to thank our board, who is also with us this evening. Jesuit is ably led by these men and women who take on the responsibility of our school's well-being each and every day. And as did Chris, I'm also pleased to acknowledge our coaches, as well as our administrators and faculty and staff members who are with us this evening. They work so effectively modeling what it means to be a man or a woman for others, so that our students may see in them the qualities that they should embrace for themselves. And you've already met many of our students who are supporting this event. They are the reasons, my friends, for everything that we do. And in particular, I'd like to call out our senior student athletes whose talents have resulted in them signing letters of intent to compete on the collegiate level. They're already standing up. I was going to ask them to stand, but guys, if once again you could kind of wave your hands so that people can see you, and I'd ask you not to eclipse the sun as you're doing so. That'd be awesome. Pretty great representation from Boise State to Oregon, Colorado, lots and lots of talent. Now I'd like to embarrass the heck out of Thomas Sperbeck, class of 2013. Thomas is going to graduate soon, right, Thomas? Yeah. And he's going to head off to Boise State to play football. And you know, this is what a little bit of what I know about Thomas, besides being an awesome guy. He was named to the Max Preps All-SAC Joaquin Section First Team as an athlete after leading Coach Marlon Blanton's squad in passing, rushing, tackles, and scoring. He was named Sacramento Bee All-Metro First Team on offense and was the SAC Joaquin Section Delta River All-Purpose Player of the Year. So it means, I guess, that he cooks, too. Completed 57 of a lot of passes for 1,049 yards, 13 touchdowns, rushed for 932 yards, 9 touchdowns offensively registered, 69 tackles, 40 solo completed, blah, blah, blah. It's awesome, amazing. I got to tell you something. You know where I found this, Thomas? That's on the website for Boise State. Really looking forward to have Tom up there. I want to just add one more thing to this, that it says here he had 69 tackles, 40 solo. That's actually 70 tackles, 41 solo, because he tackled me at the Rio game. I'd like to invite Thomas to come forward to introduce our keynote speaker. Thomas.
Thank you, Polly. Although I'm excited to get started at Boise and continue playing football, I'm really going to miss the Jesuit community, especially everything that was provided for me both athletically and academically. The opportunities that I had here will be something that will stay with me long after I leave, and I couldn't be more grateful. It is my pleasure this evening to introduce Mr. Jeff Float, class of 1978. Mr. Float is a competitive athlete who grew up swimming for the Marauders and the Arden Hills Swim Club. Mr. Float has learned to overcome many challenges in his path to success as a student, athlete, and businessman. He continues to hold Jesuit High School close to his heart and exemplifies our commitment to be men for others. During his tenure here at Jesuit, Mr. Float became one of the premier swimmers in the country and in the world. In the summer after his junior year, he competed in the World Games for the Deaf in Bucharest, earning an unprecedented 10 gold medals in 10 events. As a senior, Mr. Flo helped the 1978 Jesuit swim team capture the Swimming World Magazine National Prep School Team Championship title. The following summer, he received the silver medal at the 1978 World Aquatics Championship in Berlin. Upon graduation, he enrolled at USC and continued his academic and athletic success, ultimately receiving his bachelor's degree in psychology and a minor in business administration. He earned a spot on the United States national swim team for the 1980 Olympics in Moscow, which the U.S. eventually boycotted. Undeterred, Mr. Flo continued to compete at an elite level, winning a gold medal in the 1982 World Aquatics Championships. He made the national team again for the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles, where he was named team captain. In Los Angeles, he took home the gold medal in the 4x200 meter freestyle and finished fourth in the 200 meter freestyle. Today, Mr. Flo is an aquatics director, and head swim coach for Spare Time Incorporated. He has worked in real estate since 1992 and also serves as a motivational speaker. He and his wife, Jan Ellis, are both active and longtime participants in Swim Across America, a national nonprofit seeking to fight cancer. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Jeff Flo, class of 1978.
Thank you, Thomas Sperbeck, for that kind introduction. I want to know why you're not going to USC. Feels great being selected athlete of the year, though, doesn't it? First and foremost, please know that I am honored to be here to address you this evening, Jesuit's 50th anniversary inaugural celebration. Reverend Suwalsky, Steve McLaughlin, your selection committee, faculty, fellow alumni, parents, students, this is my privilege to stand before you on this auspicious occasion. I want to also acknowledge my wife, Jan, and my sister, Joanne, for being here tonight. And in formulating my sentiments, I wish to share with you, boy, did I have a trip down memory lane here. With the exception of Jug, just a time or two, and because of him, I'm reminded yet again of the powerful foundation that Jesuit provided for me. Our family moved from Buffalo, New York in 1963, just as J High was breaking ground. Entering as a freshman in 1974, little did I know of the mentors who would instill in me the belief in what it means to be a man for others. Not only did I absorb my own transformation as a student, but I've now seen our friend's son thrive under the newfound status as men for others. And this is simply the gift that keeps on giving. With youthful fondness and middle-aged clarity, I recall well the belief system originally introduced by my parents, Dr. John Float and Ruth Float, and of course the legendary coach Sherm Shavor, then the taskmaster at Arden Hill. Then I met Father Barry, the Big Bear, Father King, one of my student advisors, Father Ed Callahan, who we all remember, Brother Honorado, Dave Novak, Walt Lang, great coach from cross country, Hank Meyer, basketball coach and principal, I think at one time, Reg Smith, Tom Donato, Mike Melanson, Father Harris, Father Wade, great to see you again this evening, just to name a few. The spirit within all these people were, are, and will continue to be the pillars of my foundation. And once again, as men for others, they're the pillars and the foundation we see all around us today upon this sacred ground we call Jesuit High School. In hindsight, I think what I learned most through the teachings and the experience of these dedicated mentors is this: the value of time. Time is a very precious commodity in this day and age. I'm talking to you tonight as a result of 18 years in the swimming career that expanded those 18 years. Extending through my high school years, every minute of my day was accounted for, including swimming before and after school, 15 to 18,000 yards a day, across the street at RVO thanks to Sherman. I learned the value of a day, an hour, a minute, a couple of seconds, and yes, even a few hundredths of a second. My ultimate sports success, earning an Olympic gold medal, came down to literally 12 100ths of a second to qualify for the team. 1/10 of a second in being touched out for a bronze medal. 4 100ths of a second in capturing the Olympic gold medal. My teammates and I broke the world record by 5 seconds, and my life changed dramatically in the blink of an eye. Whether it's completing a simple homework assignment, well, not always so simple around here, acing a challenging test, increasing that GPA, spending time with a loved one, catching that winning touchdown pass, pitching a strikeout, it is the awareness and belief in oneself to carpe diem, seize the day, seize those moments in time which are truly magical. Jesuit recognized and nurtured this awakening. I am forever grateful for the mentors that I mentioned and countless others who encourage belief in an ever-present higher power, a need for advanced education, and a sense of belonging to family, friends, community, the world. They allowed me to possess supreme confidence in my ability and my potential. Through determination, hard work, and persistence, I was able and I was certain that I could accomplish anything in my life. My past athletic achievements were a mere prelude to what I do today, passing on my passion for the sport, which has been so good to me. Now known as Coach Jeff, our team credo is, I believe I can win. Touching young lives is another lesson I garnered here. As a man for others, that generational circle expands exponentially. To that end, as we look into the future, Jesuit's next 50 years, we have to truly appreciate the people and the power of the 50-year history underlying the foundation laid before us in valuing who we are as alumni, as parents, faculty, and students. I trust you will call upon me to extol his virtues again. If by chance I'm not around, let's try to envision Jesuit in 2063. The changes since my graduation and the plans on the drawing board now are mind-boggling. Jesuit has always been forward-thinking, and its history for success is proven. Seize the day, make a difference. By participating in the alumni competition program or endowing Jesuit in a larger capacity, equate to the continuing legacy of new, time-conscious leadership being meant for others. May you continue to have the foresight and the values from the pillars of Jesuit High School to seize those magical moments as you propel us in the next 50 years. Thank you for inviting me to share in this event, and you created for me yet another indelible memory in sharing my experiences with you. Thank you.
I don't want to talk now. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Thomas. I want to share with y'all what a letter that we received in my office dated May 2nd, written by the parents of one of our students and starts this way. Dear Father Suwalsky, it's with utmost sincerity that I'm compelled to express my gratitude for giving our son Alexander the opportunity to attend Jesuit High School. Without the generous contributions of benefactors and donors to the scholarship fund, we simply could not afford to send our son to Jesuit. I want you to know that our son's experience at Jesuit has enriched his life in so many ways and has supported the values and spiritual development that we encourage in all of our children. We continue to be committed to volunteering our time as much as possible. The sacrifices we make to assure that we provide an education for our children is considered a blessing and is a reminder of how fortunate we are to be a part of the Jesuit community. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Frankly, the timing of that gracious letter couldn't have been better. As we were preparing for this event, that was a great thing to open up. We are at the beginning, at a moment that coincides with the celebration of 50 years of service. We have been dreaming this past year, asking important questions about who we are and where we need to be so that Jesuit is stable and strong and still of service to the young people of this community in the years to come. These same dreams and questions, I'm guessing, were asked 50 years ago. What does Sacramento need? What does the church need? What do our families need? But most importantly, how can we make it happen? What we needed was a school of the Society of Jesus, they decided, and how that happened was through the sacrifice and dedication of Jesuits' first generations of parents and benefactors. And look around you, see what they did. Look at what has been sustained over the years. Scholarship and athletic achievement, great actors, singers and musicians. Good men have been refined here at Jesuit High and have had the privilege to educate the boys of our community and to help them become men for others. This whole 50-year thing is beginning to throw me, though. I don't want to think of 50 years as a long time ago, since I'm 50 years plus one. And it seems to me just yesterday that I was riding my bike with my buddies over to the Missouri River to throw rocks, played some t-ball, worked on the student council, was a novice in Denver, was just ordained, just became president of Jesuit High. Just doesn't seem that long ago, right? Except it's a lifetime. And while I'll admit that my knees are a little creaky, that's okay, because it's been a great life and one worth remembering. And here's the key, friends. My 51 years has set the stage for the years to come. And I expect much good to come in the years to follow, and that there's much to look forward to in these years ahead. I expect the same for Jesuit. And in fact, I will admit that you all know better than me of its successes and of its achievements. I'm the short timer here. You know better than I do the challenges and the low points, and you all know better than I do how this institution, this work of the church and of the Society of Jesus, this endeavor, this dream, has changed our world. And we've done it one man at a time. We support the future here. And we trust that our graduates make a future from here that not only serves them well, but also serves their families, their neighbors, their churches, their communities, wherever those communities may be. And I have to admit, that's why I am here. It's why I'm wearing a Roman collar and a black suit. It's why I now call Sacramento my home. And that's why I'm passionate about this place, this campus, this school, this community, all of you who are a part of Jesuit High. Take a minute. In the good Jesuit tradition of using a bit of imagination, I invite you to put yourselves in the place of those who might have stood here, been with us 50 years ago. Ask yourself this. Would you have been a pioneer like they? A risk taker? A man or a woman confident that you can shape the future? Do Do you desire to shape the future, to make a difference for families that you may not know? For young men who need a chance and opportunity, who need a place where talent meets challenge, a place where the power of faith is unveiled in every student who has and will call himself a marauder. This Jesuit community has embraced the future since 1963, and we seek to refashion it even today. You will learn more about what we're calling the Milestone Campaign. Our dreams and our efforts this past year have resulted in us identifying needs which should be addressed, as well as what we will need to best serve the young men who come to Jesuit. We've identified projects that respond to Jesuit's mission to support the development of our students academically, physically, and socially, as well as spiritually. We've got a pretty good idea of what we need to do. We have a pretty good idea of what we need from others, and that is commitment, support, and prayer. It just galls me to think about how beautiful this field is over here, because I'm saying to you that we need to renovate the stadium, most especially the track. Dave Higgins, Sr., came to me right after I became president of Jesuit High, told me that he had helped lay out the track with Father Barry back in 1964, 65. And he says, Father, I got to tell you, I'm surprised that it's still the same as it was back then. I was too new and too naive, and I said, well, Mr. Higgins, that's really great. How big's your checkbook? We need new science labs. We need a robotics workshop. Right now, robotics shares the lab space with physics. You know, our robotics program is so awesome and amazing that their major, their only really significant competitor in the United States of America is the engineering school at Purdue. We got us some smart boys here. We need to incorporate technology in the digital age in our classrooms and our libraries, and we need to increase our endowments so that every family will understand that Jesuit is a choice for their son's future. I want to tell you something as well. We need to complete our chapel project, and I want to tell you that I expect it to be started in August. If, as we say back home in Kansas, that the sun keeps shining and the creek don't rise, when we all come back here in August for the big old bash to celebrate 50 years and keep on rolling along, we should have site work going on for the chapel. We shall have cut the ribbon on the library renovation. We will have construction in the old locker room for the 3 labs and the robotics laboratory. And we will be looking forward to renovating this facility so that our young men on the football team, soccer team, lacrosse, rugby, track and field will have a facility that they should be able to compete in safely and with great success. We need you to support Jesuit High in our campaign. We have a longtime benefactor and his wife with us this evening. Maybe I should rephrase that. We have a longtime benefactor and her husband with us here this evening. The fact is we have many long-term benefactors of Jesuit here this evening. But in particular, I would ask you to join me in thanking John and his wife, Sandra. John and Sandra have pledged $1 million as our lead gift for our milestone. Honestly, I think that round of applause should go on for another 20 minutes. And I go away. I'd also like to thank the members of our Board of Trustees, almost all of them who were able to be with us tonight. Our board has not only authorized this campaign, but also committed itself to supporting it fully, 100% participation. And I think that's exciting, and it's a tremendously important statement to make to our community. It's easy to say, go do something. It's a little bit harder to say, go do something, and we'll help make it happen. And as you notice too, all of these handsome people who are around here wearing red, our coaches are with us tonight, and they've also committed to our future. One of the great things about the most amazing athletic director in Northern California, if not, I don't know where, is that I've deputized him as as an advancement officer for Our coaches who are with us tonight have also placed their resources to supporting not just our athletes, but our entire school community. And you know what? I know what they are paid. And I'm especially grateful for their financial commitment and support of our mission in this campaign. So thank you very much. I attended the Jesuit University in Kansas City. That's called Rockhurst back then. It was not so pretentious, and it was called Rockhurst College, not Rockhurst University. And when I was a freshman, they started their first major campaign. It was the first time in 1979 they came out in the world and did something dramatic. And they announced their campaign goal at $6 million for killing the jazz program as a student. And everybody then thought, oh, $6 million, how is it possible? And they made it. Our campaign goal is $6 million, and we should make it. It's doable, a little daunting maybe. But Maureen Longhair and her team has already, as you can tell, been in the vineyard, and together we can, and it's only together that this will succeed. I'm almost done here. So let me say something that's probably self-evident. I hope it's self-evident. Jesuit's not my school. I don't say that because I'm new to Sacramento, I'm new to Jesuit. This is the reality. Nobody owns the school but you. Jesuit's not my school, it is our school. And Jesuit's mission is not meant to be hoarded, it's meant to be shared. I want to thank you for your trust in us and your support for us. For we make men here, men for others here. And that means that what we do is the most important work in our world. I am convinced that the spirit which brought Jesuit High School into being is the spirit that we all possess. That what happened in '62 and '63 is easily something that can happen in 2013 and 2014. Everybody takes risks, everybody lifts up challenge, everybody responds to need. I hope you do too, and you'll take Maureen's calls. And I want to tell you that from the very bottom of the heart, that anything that you can do to assist this school, its mission, and these young men will be received with deepest appreciation. As we finish up this evening, and stay please as long as you can, look around at these young men who are helping to support what's going on here. It'll be for the young men who are here this evening to decide 50 years from now whether our generation has made a difference. So let's make that decision easy for them. And let's pray for one another today and always. Christ's peace be with you. Thank you for joining us this evening. Refreshments are open. Please enjoy yourself.